Veterans re-entering civilian life face many challenges, including finding a job. I'm Montel Williams. Welcome to this edition of Military Makeover Operation Career. Today, inspirational stories of former servicemen and women who have reinvented themselves and are thriving at companies who value their unique skills. September 11th, 2001, a day that changed our nation forever. In response, a mission was forged: protect the skies, safeguard lives, and prevent history from repeating itself. Today, we're going inside the TSA, where thousands, including countless veterans, stand guard for America's safety.
The Transportation Security Administration safeguards our nation's airports, railways, seaports, and other critical transportation infrastructure.
My name is Linwood J. Smith, Jr. I'm the Deputy Assistant Administrator for the Office of Human Capital at the Transportation Security Administration.
My name is Amber Sullivan, and I'm a Deputy Assistant Federal Security Director for Screening at the Transportation Security Administration.
My name is Brian McKnight. I work here as a Transportation Security Officer at DCA, Ronald Reagan National Airport.
I'm responsible for day-to-day operations in the Office of Human Capital, which covers the care and well-being of 67,000 or more employees every day.
So I oversee the entire screening operation. It entails everything from staffing to operational readiness of equipment. Without me overseeing staffing, operational readiness, and making sure that we adhere to TSA policy in the operation, it would leave holes for something bad to happen.
What I do here is ensure safety by screening passengers, even their person, also their luggage, to make sure they have no prohibited items and have nothing that's not supposed to go on the plane.
Following TSA rules and guidelines are key to their mission. In many circumstances, they rely on highly trained canines to sniff out explosives with their explosives detection canine teams. Amber actually joined the TSA after a chance encounter with one of these canine units.
My experience with canines that specifically search for explosives started in the military. When I joined the military, I joined as military police and then eventually re-enlisted so I could specifically become a canine handler because it was always a dream of mine, which also led me to starting with TSA. I got hired as a canine handler, then became the canine supervisor.
Like Amber, Deputy Assistant Administrator Smith and Security Officer McKnight saw that working for the TSA was a natural fit with their military background and values.
I was 18 years old when I joined the military. I graduated in 2017 in May, and then I was shipped out in July. What I did in the military, I was a 92 Alpha. That's an automated logistical specialist. I ordered parts, dispatched vehicles, did physical inventory of all military parts. I dealt with a lot of incoming traffic, similar to my job now.
When I retired from the military, I wanted to continue to serve. I felt the passion to serve, and this opportunity was one that just resonated with me, an opportunity to continue the mission that I started some 20-some years ago as a soldier. When I entered the military, it was right after college. So I came out at 24, joined the United States Army. My first deployment was to the Gulf back in 1990. I was a Patriot crewman. We were preparing for Scud missiles. The Patriot missiles were there to knock down the Scud missiles or any aircraft at that time. And we did knock down quite a few Scud missiles.
The structure and the discipline that you get in the military is hard to replace once you're out and you're transitioning out. TSA pretty closely aligns with that. So for me, it was really enticing because I could almost do exactly what I was doing in the military in TSA. And once I got here, I loved it and realized exactly how important it is.
With its strong sense of service, mission, and shared values, the TSA offers many veterans the structure they're used to and a solid path to a lifelong career.
And one thing about TSA, it's not a job, it's a career. And they have an opportunity to grow their career and start their next career. And it provides an opportunity for them to spread their wings, so to speak.
If you had asked 17-year-old me if I would be working for TSA in the position that I am today, I wouldn't have thought it would have been a possibility. So the military really opened up doors for me. And then TSA has further opened them.
It's probably the best opportunity I've ever had. The interaction with the people, the interaction with the customers, being able to make a difference for our employees and help them do their day-to-day job so that we can make sure that we keep our nation safe.
The Transportation Security Administration. Securing travel, ensuring safety.
America's unique place on the global stage requires the brightest minds to navigate incredibly complex challenges. In equal measure, experience and talent are just as essential. The advisory, technology, and managed services company, Guidehouse, is a key provider of that kind of expertise, and they draw much of their workforce from our military and veterans.
Guidehouse is a management and technology consulting firm, and we offer business process outsourcing services to clients all around the world. We have 18,000 professional employees around the world in more than 50 offices. Guidehouse is purpose-built to outwit the complexity that our clients deal with every day. Complexity is a way of life. The job of our professionals is to cut through that complexity with clarity, integrity, and a focus to develop better business plans, better business processes, better operations and technologies.
Technology consulting is what it sounds like. It's technology enabling that change to drive sustainable results efficiently and effectively using modern technology, big data, advanced analytics, and the like. And then managed services is an offering that we provide to our clients, primarily in healthcare and financial services. We're able to provide them a group of experts or technicians at a better price point than they could have internally. I grew up in an Army family. I was born overseas and then moved around quite a bit with the Army and always wanted to be a soldier. I was an infantry officer and a finance officer, and during my time as an infantry platoon leader, I deployed overseas to the Balkans, which was a formative experience for me in the Army. Getting to deploy overseas in support of national objectives and working on things that were in the news was very satisfying to me.
Our mission is to help our clients to solve their big, important, complex problems. In fact, our tagline is outwit complexity. We really thrive on understanding our clients' problems better than any of our competitors. We have professionals that have served in the military, that have served in the Air Force, that have served in the Army, that have served in the Navy, have served at Space Force, and they're able to bring their domain knowledge and a deep understanding of what type of solutions will be able to really help to drive efficiency and help them to achieve the mission.
After 9/11 happened, I wanted to do something. I enlisted when I was 17 years old. I had to have my mother actually sign my paperwork to go in. I went in the Air Force and on active duty, and I separated and I went into the reserves about 6 years ago, went and commissioned in the Navy as an officer so that I can continue to serve. One of the things I do love about Guidehouse is that they're very supportive of veterans. I deployed for a year to Jordan, and Guidehouse was supportive the entire time. And when I returned, they were very lenient with me because I had been away for a year, and they allowed me to take some time off before I came full time back to work.
The Veterans Employee Network at Guidehouse supports a wide range of veterans-affiliated organizations across the United States. Some of those that I would highlight are 4Block, which is a transition program for either retiring or separating service members who are looking at what is going to be the next part of their career. We also support other transition programs. And then we do a number of community outreach programs, which may include things like honor flights, welcoming veterans to the National Capital Region, or Wreaths Across America, which engages employees across the country in laying wreaths at our national cemeteries.
Guidehouse is thrilled to be known as and recognized as a military-friendly employer, and I think we have achieved that because it's deeply welded to the way we look for talent. We want talent that has strong values and integrity. We want talent that is well-trained and disciplined, and we want talent that can learn fast. And for us, seeking veterans really gives us a dependable source of talent in each of those capacities.
I have been at Guidehouse for 17 years. I want to encourage veterans to come to Guidehouse. What I found is that this is a wonderful place for veterans to continue their career. It's a place where there's lots of enthusiasm and, again, an opportunity for them to use their skills that they developed in the military.
To learn more about job opportunities at Guidehouse, visit guidehouse.com.
Welcome back. Now we're headed out to the headquarters of Absolutely American and Corporate Gray in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Their mission is to make successful matches between transitioning service members and employers across America. Here's CEO Mike Jennings with an insider tip to help you or a veteran you know make a successful military to civilian transition.
For over 25 years, I've been guiding transitioning military veterans to success in winning the job they want and getting the best offer with employers across the nation. And over that time, I've found that effectiveness in communicating your ability to do something for an employer is one of the most important skills we teach in our exclusive military free agent training program. And one of the first places you're going to do that is likely on your resume or your LinkedIn profile. With the uniqueness of your military job and all the jargon we use every day, explaining the value of your military service in language other than what you've been using every day can seem a bit daunting. The good news is that, in reality, this is not as hard as it seems. It just takes a little time and a little thought to break your work down into simple terms. Start by listing the things you've done during your entire time in service and what you've done well. Next, write down the different functions that you've performed the way it is that you describe them now. Ideally, you'll want to emphasize the functions that you've enjoyed the most and have done the best. These are your strongest value propositions. By the way, your ability to learn and apply training is something that all military veterans have done that's of interest to employers. Next, circle every word or phrase that you would not have understood back when you were in high school. These are the parts of the job that you do that we have to translate for employers to make it easy for them to understand. To do that, explain your duties to yourself as if you were explaining them to a kid in high school who's had no exposure to the military whatsoever. In other words, use plain language. For example, if you enjoyed field stripping your M4, you can say that you enjoyed taking apart and putting together a complex gun that has a lot of small parts that need cleaning and oiling. Or maybe you were good at leading your fire team to success. So what are the functional duties of a fire team leader? Well, you led 4 to 5 grunts in maneuvers in the field. You trained them on how to do the job. You had to supervise safety according to regulations. You had to make sure that your time away was planned properly and that your troops had the gear they needed. You had to actually lead the event successfully by meeting your leader's objectives. And then you had to lead the redeployment back home. So, to help the civilian, maybe you can explain it like this. You led 4 to 5 people to perform a variety of duties away from their normal location. You trained them on how to do the work, and you made sure they did it safely and according to the written instructions that you had. You planned out everything that had to be done and everything the team needed to do its job. And when it came time to do the job, you led the team to meet all of the goals for the event. Then you led your team to move themselves and their equipment supplies back to the home base, keeping control of all of the government property that you had to return. Once you have the things you like to do explained this way, adding them to a resume is really easy. By emphasizing the work you want to do, you've now not only helped employers understand what you can do, but what you like to do in language they can understand. And that's one of the most important keys to winning the job you want and getting the best offer. For more insider tips on this topic and others in the military to civilian transition, check out my new book, On Target and On Time, Precision Guidance for the Military to Civilian Transition, and check out our websites, absolutelyaamerican.com and corporategray.com.
Welcome back. You know, we all take for granted having the lights come on with a flick of a switch. Well, since 1902, Georgia Power has provided electricity to homes and businesses. They believe that incorporating transitioning veterans into their team is crucial for their future success.
My name is Kim Green, and I'm the Chairman, President, and CEO of Georgia Power. The Georgia Power is an electric utility, and we provide clean, safe, reliable, and affordable power to 2.7 million customers all across the state of Georgia.
My name is Darren Gould. I'm a Senior Fire Protection Specialist with Georgia Power at Plant Share. I served 21 years in the United States Air Force. I retired as a Master Sergeant. I achieved the rank of Senior Master Sergeant, but I chose to pursue a career with Georgia Power, and it's been a great experience so far.
My name is Tiffany Pike. I am an engineer for Georgia Power, and I'm a cyber officer for the Georgia Air National Guard.
Georgia Power wants to work with military veterans because our missions are aligned, our values are aligned. We want people who are focused on, again, taking care of their customers and taking care of that mission. And when members of the military come into Georgia Power, they understand that we have got to work together, to collaborate, work as a team. They have a strong work ethic. They work with each other. They're great teammates. They depend on each other. They are very focused on safety and all of these values that we believe in, they believe in, and so it makes us better here at Georgia Power to have military veterans as part of our workforce.
I officially retired the 1st of April of 2024. I mean, having spent 21 years in the Air Force, that's all I've ever known. I think my biggest challenge transitioning out of the military with Georgia Power is finding something to wear to work every day. I was an Air Force firefighter for 21 years. It was such an exciting experience serving in the United States Air Force as a firefighter. We provided fire and emergency services to the base populace. We protected people, property, and the environment at Georgia Power at Plant Share. I completed a 90-day skill bridge intern there, and I was offered a job on the last day of my intern. It's been a great experience so far. I'm enjoying it.
I am with the Georgia Air National Guard, and I'm an O2, so I am a lieutenant. I work with the Homeland Response Force with FEMA for Region 4. I'm the communications officer, and I'm also the communications officer with the 116th Communications Squadron in Warner Robins. My work here at Georgia Power has been very interesting and diverse. So I started as a substation engineer helping build substations and maintain them. So now I'm over at the Transmission Control Center, so I have a little bit of understanding from the field's perspective, from the smart equipment and how the control schemes work. You have the whole state of Georgia and all the interfaces around you in your hands. It's everything you do in Georgia Power is a little scary because you have your safety and other people's safety in your hands. So you kind of have, just like the military, you have their lives and you have people's lives just on both sides. You have it in your hands. So it's scary. You want to do the best you can. You want to be amazing at it.
What's most gratifying about my work with Georgia Power is coming to work every day knowing that I'm making a difference, knowing that I'm valued, knowing that my work is valued, knowing that I can spend time working within the fire protection realm at Plant Share has been the most gratifying part of my career here with Georgia Power. And also the people at Georgia Power, the culture at Georgia Power. It's a very exciting and friendly place to work.
Coming from the military, you think it's going to be easy to transition from military to civilian life, but it's very challenging. And so it is a very welcoming and open company to help you transition. And also they can take your skills and they can place them in the company and put you in the right place for your skill set.
So veterans bring so many benefits to this company, not just leadership and the values, but also the technical skills that many of them were able to build in the military, like engineering and logistics, supply chain, operations. All of those apply directly to the kind of work that we do, and so their backgrounds and skills help make us better teammates, better for our communities.
To learn more about great career opportunities for veterans at Georgia Power, visit the link below.
Great to see that after sacrificing so much to military service, Today's veterans were able to find careers where they were able to shine. I'm Montel Williams. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.